Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today at our regular webinars. And today is a pleasure to introduce the Lady Elizabeth School. We've got Chris Atkins. Hello, Chris. Can you see us?
Hi, everybody.
We've got 𝐫𝐨𝐵𝐿 𝐞𝐫 as well from the Lady Elizabeth. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
And we've got from the law firm Pellicer Heredia, we've got Pedro Heredia. Hello, Pedro.
Hello, good morning.
Right, today is a pleasure to have them. They're a leading school, international school in Costa Blanca North. And it is very important when we always plan on family relocation to try to understand the amenities, the areas, the facilities. If we've got children, where are we going to just enroll our children? How easy is it to come to Spain? How do you liaise with everybody? When is the time to come, etc., etc. And today is a real pleasure to have a very reputable school who are going to teach you a little bit how to do the enrollment, how to move to Spain, how parents could come, carry on working and relying in a great education school. Okay, so I'm going to pass over to Chris, who he will explain to us all the ins and outs and all the information that a lot of our clients are demanding, especially now because they're abroad, they're not able to come to Spain and they're planning for their future. So over to you, Chris.
Okay, well, thanks, Ignacio, and nice to see you again, Pedro. And I'm here with Isabel today. Isabel's our head of admissions and external relations, and she's really the key person at the school that welcomes our new families. My name is Chris Akin. I'm the head of school. I'm originally from Canada, but I've been overseas now. This is my 26th year in international education. I've led schools in the Far East, in Latin America, and here in Europe. And we're delighted to be here at the Lady Elizabeth School. This is our third year as a family. I have a year 13 student, Matt, who's about to go off to university in Canada next year. And my daughter, Tamara, is finishing her GCSEs this year. You can tell right there from the language that I'm using is we talk about GCSEs, A levels we use at the school. We are an international learning community that utilizes the British national curriculum throughout our primary and Key Stage 3. And then we move into Key Stage 4 and do GCSEs and A levels in our sixth form. A little bit about our school. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share some information with you. I'm going to share some slides. So if you'll allow me, I'm just going to share my screen. And yeah, here we go. We might have to open systems preferences on this one. Well, I'll just walk you through it. I think we don't want to waste anyone's time here. A little bit about our school. Our school's been in the area for 34 years. Started as two kids learning on the porch of an old farmhouse in Heredia. And the vision of the founder of the school, Miss Veronica Barnes, was to create a school where every child is recognized and supported and can learn about what they're passionate about. And that vision is very pure, and it still exists till today. Today, we've grown. In 34 years, we've grown to a school of 1,116 learners, approximately 180 staff. And we welcome students and families to our school from over 50 nations on the planet. We've got about 1/3 of our students are from Spain. A little less than 1/3 are from the UK. We have about 15% of our student population is from Russia. And then we've got students from all corners of the globe, from Mexico, Madagascar, there's even a few of us Canadians that they allow in. And yeah, it's a wonderful learning community. Language of instruction is English. Many of our families would consider our school as just like going to school in Britain. Our staff hail from the UK, all certified, trained in the UK as master teachers. And our faculty tenure is quite remarkable, averaging about 10 years. What makes the school, though, is about those relationships. We've got amazing buildings and amazing facilities like none that I've ever had at schools that I've led. 450 seat theater and 2 swimming pools, multiple pitch field courts and football pitches, labs, science labs to the top of the line, food service labs. It's just a wonderful facility. But what makes the school really a school is those kids and teachers and the relationship between them. And I marvel at it every day. This is a school where the little kids skip and the big kids are really nice to one another. And that's remarkable. And really, really enjoy coming to work every day. We are a school. We have a very, very clear understanding of who we are. As I said before, an international learning community with global aspirations. We've got students who matriculate from our school to universities all over the globe. Whereas before it was predominantly just in the United Kingdom. We now have students who are applying and being successful in getting admitted to schools in Canada, Australia, the United States, the Netherlands, Germany, Korea, all over the globe. And what really makes it interesting is that in many cases, we've got students who perhaps their nationality is they come from one country, but they end up going to school in another country and in another language. I think about one of our students who was one of our boarding students, from Hong Kong, and now she's studying design in Barcelona. We've got students who are from Spain and grew up in Alicante and now are studying physics at the University of Manchester. One of our students came to us in year 7, couldn't speak any English, well, very little. And now she's studying music at Glasgow. So our kids come from everywhere in the world and they go anywhere in the world, wherever their passions take them. Beyond that, there's several other just key markers about the school. We have a laser-like focus on learning. We are always talking about learning. We have a very, very clear definition of what learning is and how we can tell that it's happening. We understand that all learning takes place in the brain, and it's due to repeated experiences where a child's brain becomes hardwired to understanding new knowledge, content, and skills. And then they have opportunities to practice, to challenge themselves, and what we call go through a good struggle. And a good struggle is when you are struggling with trying something new, identifying something new, taking something that you're learning and comparing it to something that you've already learned and seeing where it fits. And that's a struggle. But on the other side is a sense of achievement and accomplishment. And that's something that we define as amazing learning. And amazing learning is not jazz hands and wow, look at what I did. What it is actually surprising. It was when the student surprises themselves that they didn't think that they could learn, whether it's the quadratic formula or it's how to build sentences that have, a congruent structure. And almost that's that sense of accomplishment and pride that a child has in doing something that they are really, really marveled that they were able to do. So we are an incredibly safe and happy school. We are supported by the International Schools Partnership, which is a global network of schools. We have 46 schools across the world in all regions of the earth. And it's an incredible organization that puts the student at the center. And so we have incredible support from ISP, the International Schools Partnership. And one of the tenets for ISP is that the non-negotiable, that students are safe, that safeguarding is a #1 priority, and the health and safety of our students, faculty, and parents is a priority. So you will find that our students get up to a lot of different things here at the school, but that is something that is just key, that underlines everything, that they are happy and well taken care of. We do speak about several other things. There are great things about our school in terms of our results, in terms of, and again, they're not our results, the student results. But ultimately it comes down to what we call the best of both worlds. It's the best of all worlds, really. You have the best of a British educational background within the Spanish context. And students, as I said earlier, have the ability to study subjects choices that they're very interested in so that they can pursue a path of study, as I said, anywhere in the globe. The breadth of matriculations of our students as they go on after our school is quite incredible. Yeah, we get kids into Oxford, and that's fantastic for that kid. But what's also really, really important might be the matriculation of a child who's very interested in culinary arts, who got into a cordon bleu school, or a student who wants to study fashion and gets into a fashion school like Emily Parsons in the US. So, it's about the best fit. So we understand that parents have a choice to make when it comes to the education for their child, and it's an enormous choice because you don't have a do-over, and you want to do the best thing for your child. And we stand very proud behind the fact that we have been able to, for over 3 decades, support families in making that choice and supporting their children in being successful. Over 90% of our children get into their first choice university. And as a dad who's going through that myself right now with my son, who's applied for 7 schools in Canada, I'm very happy that he's part of this school because I know he's well prepared. Although his first choice keeps switching every week. So, I mean, that might be a little bit hard to figure out when it gets into his first choice school. But again, very, very, very proud of the school and proud of the results that we're able to support our kids to have. Just trying to think of some other things that might be important at this time that we share with people on this call. I think we all know that schools have shifted seismically in the last months due to the impact of the pandemic on the ability for schools to have face-to-face instruction. And, we are incredibly grateful and happy to know that our children are able to be here on site every day. We have very, very strict COVID-19 protocols that we follow. And again, it's part of the commitment to health and safety. Presently, all of our students who are 6 years of age and older are wearing face masks throughout the day, with the exception of when they are eating and drinking or taking part in vigorous physical activity while socially distanced. We have all of the PPE that one would expect from the safest of organizations, and again, supported by the International Schools Partnership. We have a full set of COVID-19 protocols that our parents are extremely happy to support, knowing that their children can continue their schooling as relatively unaffected as possible. And should there be an eventuality that included the need for students to return to what is called the distance learning format, we employ quite a bit of technology at the school to enhance instruction, and we are a Google Suite school. So we utilize Google Classroom, Google Meets, and all of the other Google tools, and our staff are well skilled up to be able to seamlessly move to distance learning instruction. At this time, I feel I've kind of rambled a bit. So Ignacio, do you have any suggestions on where we need to go next?
Right. I think if we could just share a video so we can have an image. Chris, Juanfran,
yeah.
Do you have something to share here so we can have an image of where can we go? Here we go.
Families that bring to us such diversity and talents, and our students. They're students are what make us shine.
When I came here, I couldn't speak, but in 2 years, I'm now in nearly the most highest group of English.
When I entered this school, I just said, hello, bye-bye, and now look at me, I'm talking English.
when they leave here, we want them to become lifelong learners. So we're hoping that they develop a love of learning, so no matter where they go on in their lives, at whatever point it is, they're ready to continue learning.
They all grow up here very open-minded and not scared of other cultures. I can see this in the playground sometimes, even if they don't speak the same language.
Piece for us is to make sure that we're giving the school back to the students and making sure that they see that they have an incredible voice and choice about the way that we do learning here.
Okay, thank you for that, Juanfran. I think it's very, very nice for us to understand how to access to your school. Chris, I don't know whether you would like to introduce Isabel and how, let's say, people who are watching now and are interested, they want to enroll. How would it be possible on that, Chris?
I think I'll turn it over to Isabel on that. I mean, just before I do that, though, if they are interested, they feel free to look up the Laude Lady Elizabeth School. We'll provide the direction in the chat. And we have a direct page straight to our admissions, and Isabel will walk you through how that works.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Over to you, Isabel.
Thank you. Right, so, well, if you're interested in coming to the Lady Elizabeth School to study in Spain, it doesn't matter wherever you are in the world. We are available for you. We do virtual open days monthly, once a month at least, and we always get in touch with the families that are interested. As Chris mentioned, as soon as you go into the Lady Elizabeth School website, you can fill in the inquiry form, and we will contact you in less than 24 hours in order to make like maybe a meeting. A meeting in the school if you're here, or if you are wherever you are in the world, we can do an online meeting just to meet each other and just to discuss how the steps can, it depends because each family is different. Each family needs, we need to cater for the needs of each family anyway. So depending on each family. So that's why we always like to have a first meeting, online meeting or personal meeting in the school. And then I can explain all the steps in order to enroll the children. Obviously, it's different steps for little ones than older ones.
That's good. Thank you, Isabel. I just wonder, the enrollment, is it possible for an expat to come and join you? Let's say they are thinking about moving to Spain, especially now because of COVID. A lot of people, they could be working from they could be pretty much working from here. And do you think it's possible nowadays? There is so much now with the Brexit, and the world is moving and changing. Is it possible to join?
Yes, that's not a problem. I'm having new families coming. Well, this past month of November, I had like 10 new students. I've got 20 new students, and they are all from abroad. They're not Spanish. So yeah, of course, that's really easy. What we're doing as a school, because one of the if you've got an authorization to come to school or saying that you are enrolled in this school, you can move, you can come to the country, and that's not a problem. Or you can move, that's not a problem at all.
Right. I think Ignacio, we're actually noticing quite an interesting trend here at the school in that, well, first of all, we have what's called rolling enrollment. So we have students, families who join us throughout the year. Our greatest intake, of course, is at the start of the year. This year, we welcomed approximately 240 new students to the school, and the majority of them would come and join us in September. We also have large intakes in January for the start of term 2, and another set in term 3 in April. That said, we have 2 students who are joining us on Monday. Their families have made the decision that this is the best time for them as a family to move. And we actually become the answer to help that family. Often we'll have families, they'll come to us and they'll be like, well, we're really just on the verge of making this decision because we want a better life. This is a wonderful area to live. It's safe. And many of these families have actually learned that through COVID, through the quarantine, they've actually figured out how they can run their businesses remotely. And so it's almost like you can see them kind of on the edge of making that decision. And then they come and they find us and they go, oh, okay, now it can work for our kids too. And so we have found that we've been approached by families, for example, many families coming from the UK who have realized through the lockdowns that they've experienced up there, or the changes in the society up in the UK, that they are able to spend more time with their families, but also run their businesses remotely. And so they've seen that if I'm going to be able to do that, I can do that from Spain as well, where quality of life is unparalleled. Though today would belie us because it's a stormy day out, but 320 odd days of the year, it's just gorgeous sunshine. And it's quite an engaging place. It's just so healthy here. I was in Beijing beforehand, and let me tell you, my quality of life has just gone through the roof. I'm still trying to get my paddle game together, but it's when it works for the whole family, it's really amazing. You see happy families at the school, you see happy kids at the school. And so again, getting in touch with us, we take it from there and we give individualized attention to each family. If you're not here in Spain, we'll set up a remote call and we'll involve the people on the call that are important for you. If your child has special learning needs, we'll involve people who can support him. If there's special language needs, we'll do that for him or her. And so again, we're a big school, but we have the idea, and this is where there's a lot of similarities between your firm and our school and the mentality. We've got over 1,000 kids, but we recognize that families are often talking about their one kid. And so we want to look through the lens of the family and take care of that child. So please get in touch. We've got some, I think, one friend in the background for publishing out our admissions link. That'll take you straight to a page where you can just punch in some information and then we'll get right back to the families. Okay.
That's very good. Thank you, Chris and Isabel. Now we're moving forward, and then we're going to start with, Pedro is going to speak later on. We're going to play a video now about where is Costa Blanca, because I'm sure, Chris, a lot of people might be watching from abroad, say, well, quite interesting time now because, COVID has changed a lot of people mentality as well. And as you said, people are thinking or really ready to make the move. So we're going to share a beautiful video. Where is Costa Blanca?
Maybe because I was born on the Mediterranean, I feel so connected to this sea, to this land, to this light. Because the Costa Blanca is my passion. It's my life. It's who I am. It defines me as a person and sets me apart from the rest. Yes, it's important not to forget who we are and where we come from. That helps us understand the meaning of our lives. By this sea I was born and grew up, laughed and cried too, the emotions of life. Our land is health and well-being, the joy of living, in our own way, in our own style, authentic. That's why so many artists come to the Costa Blanca looking for inspiration, to capture the essence, that light that defines our character, and not just artists. So many people come here and stay. The sky, the landscape, the rosy sunsets, the warm sand under your feet, the sea breeze on your skin, the mountains, and seeing the sea from the heights. I love to close my eyes, take a deep breath, and feel the sun on my eyelids. as if the light was inside me. I can't explain it. As my grandmother used to say, life is full of inexplicable things. You have to live them, feel them. I had to live in other parts of the world to really value what we have here. I have everything I need. My future is here. I've learned to enjoy the little things, the little pleasures in life. And we know a lot about those. There's nothing more authentic than feeling happy in the place where you were born. And however hard I try, I can't explain it in words. Costa Blanca, authentically ours.
Well, thank you for that, Juanfran. It's a beautiful video of Costa Blanca. I'm sure Chris and Isabel has been identifying the places because actually the school is in a beautiful and the scenery is marvelous. I mean, every time we go there, we always, Pedro and myself, we think it's a beautiful location. Now, we're going to carry on. I don't know whether the audience will start making questions now, or probably better will be later on to contact Chris and Isabel later on. Now, Pedro, we want to just speak to the families. For those who are just planning to move to Spain, could you give us a little bit of idea, moving to Spain, what involves the NI numbers, visas, things like that, and how safe is to come over here? Over to you, Pedro.
Okay, well, thank you, Ignacio and Chris and Isabel. It's been great to listen to you, all of you. And of course, I'm going to just linking what you have already said about the area where the school is. It's a fantastic area. I always say that when I retire, I want to live there. I live in Alicante City, as all of you know. It's the headquarters of the Costa Blanca. But of course, we have an office in Marina Alta, and I think it's the jewel of the Costa Blanca, and probably a jewel of one of the jewels in Spain. Is a very attractive place, very cosmopolitan, and of course, it has a lot of attractions, and the climate, the gastronomy, the security, as has been said, and it's a fantastic place to live and to relocate. As we are having experience with many clients, are moving more and more to that area, and we are feeling right now, as many families are asking us to move to Spain, specifically to those areas. Where at the end there are some values like what we say, gastronomy, climate, the security, the hospitals, and the schools. It's a crucial and important place. And whenever a family, and I'm a father, I have 2 children, you always think about moving to a place and think about your children and which is the best school. And you need to move to a place that has to be like a reputable school, because at the end is education for your children, and this is a most important part, I would say, when someone is thinking about relocation. But there are other things, of course, and this is what I would like to, of course, to show in a brief way, in a summary. What are the things that needs to be checked on the legal point of view, or in order to move into Spain? Of course, one of the things that you need to think about is about immigration, about visa. If you are a European Union citizen, of course, there are some requirements, and if you are not a European Union citizen, there are other requirements, and of course, you need to fulfill them, and you need to understand. You need to understand the timing of applying, and in order to have all the documents prepared whenever you are thinking and planning to move into Spain. So it's crucial, of course, to planify, of course, which are the documents, what are the requirements, in order to, at the end, to have a plan in order to get all the documents and apply. And now the system and other phases, of course, instructed by some professional to guide you in order to get the proper visa or proper residence, or if it's through an investment, for example, a golden visa, or if it's just through a non-lucrative visa. And can I relocate my family? What about my children? In the same application. And all these things are important to check with a professional in order to planify perfectly how things are going to go. All the phases are going to go. There is a timing on the school. Of course, it starts in September. And of course, I understand families, whenever they move, they want to move in a timing. I don't know, Chris, I mean, somebody, if you can confirm this. I understand that they want to move in whenever they finish the school, the period and before they start the new year of the school. So it's a timing that families want to move, and well, it's important to planify that. Second thing, it's about property. Families, when they move, well, they have to rent a property or they have to buy a property. Normally, they rent a property whenever they are here. And well, it's important from a legal point of view, of course, to revise perfectly the contract and to be informed about your rights whenever you sign a rental contract, or whenever you sign, or wherever you want to buy a property. Of course, all the legal issues that are, and I'm not gonna entry on this right now, but of course, it's important to revise that. A must, in order to be checked, also it's the taxes. Of course, when someone is going to live in Spain, is going to be resident in Spain, will have to declare worldwide income in Spain, and will, accordingly with that, will have to pay taxes accordingly in Spain, accordingly to the double taxation conventions between Spain and any other country where the money or the income counts. So it is important to study, to make some simulations with some professionals, tax advisors, in order to know what will happen whenever you move to Spain, whenever you acquire the residency in Spain, whenever you are tax resident in Spain. It is important that you prevent what will be your taxes in Spain whenever you are resident, in order to prevent and not to have any surprise. Okay, and of course to have everything by the book with tax office, which is extremely important. Ignacio and myself, we have experience with clients that come to our office and they haven't done things properly in the past, and of course we have to inform them how to do things correctly by the book, in order to, at the end, we always say peace of mind, sleep and relax and enjoy the life in the Mediterranean Sea in Costa Blanca. And taxes is a must, it's important, but you need to be follow up with professionals on that. Of course, now in international taxes, in double taxation treaties, and that is extremely important. Another thing that has been said, I think, by Chris, is about people is starting to think about business remotely in order to move to Spain, work in Spain. We could speak about self-employment or not self-employment, or maybe to relocate a company, or maybe to create a branch or a limited company, which is from a holding company from a different country. All those situations right now, we are receiving questions about that. Of course, everything is connected. Immigration is connected, taxes is connected, business is connected, taxes for individuals and for companies. And those things at the end are points that needs to be understood, checked, and before moving or while you are moving, in order to have everything done, everything by the book. Just saying that, of course, I said at the beginning that is crucial, of course, and I'm talking about as a father right now. I mean, it's crucial for me to choose the school. Is a must. If it is a good school, I will move to that area. If it's not, probably I will not move to that area. And Lady Elizabeth, as an international school, of course, I know that they provide. I mean, it's been already been explained, but also to integrate also in the Spanish community. Marina Alta, especially in Costa Blanca North, is a special area, an international community, but also it's a Spanish community. And at the end, in order to learn, for example, the Spanish language, and it's a really, really fantastic area to move. Anything else, Ignacio? I mean, apart from that, of course, if someone wants to make any question, of course, we could be a little bit more accurate on things about immigration or property or taxes if it's required. But these are the points that needs to be checked whenever someone thinks about moving into Spain, and it needs to be clear and transparent what the information is given and what is the specific scenario before moving to Spain.
Okay, thank you, Pedro, very much. I think Juanfra has a video showing how we could be of help for people, what Pedro could do for them, and we could take clients from by the hand. Just have a look, Juanfra, and then they can feel comfortable with it.
Trust is vital when you're in another country. If you want to buy a home, set up business relationships, or apply for a residence permit, you need to be able to count on the best independent legal aid. Pellicer and Heredia is an international firm of lawyers with over 20 years experience and one single aim: for you to live at ease in Spain. In order to give you a clear, streamlined, and fast response, we work with a cross-disciplinary team of professionals specializing in the main legal fields: civil law, foreigners' affairs, business law, tax and financial law, and international law. And to ensure that you're kept informed and up to date with everything, we have 6 offices on the Eastern Coast. Whether you're from here or abroad, we will always stand by you and speak your language. Our relationship is based on openness, professionalism, and a commitment to finding legal solutions in your best interests and for your peace of mind. Pellicer and Heredia, international lawyers.
Okay, thank you for that, Juanfra. I think it's quite illustrative. I think how important it is to have independent legal advice. It's crucial. I know we've been having a lot of video conference over these complex times, and it did really work very well to do planning, as Pedro said. It's very important to do planning. I mean, you want to move to Spain, you want to move to Costa Blanca, you want to probably get to know the area and see whether you can make it. You've got a school that you could explore and probably help you with the education of your children. But it's important for people to do planning on immigration, planning on tax, and doing things by the book, as Pedro said, is important because once you know, you've got the answers and you're ready to go, move on, live your life, carry on working, and enjoy life, which is the most important thing. So we're going to just pass it back to Chris to see whether he could give us a little bit more information or feedback about what he's an expert as well. He's been living around the world. He's got a lot of knowledge about life, which is the most important thing, obviously, about the school. Chris, what would be your advice for parents who are deciding to come over here? What will be, from your experience in Lady Elizabeth, what will you tell them today? Over to you, Chris.
In terms of how to support their child and make a good start?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's really important to make sure, especially at the very start, that you are really listening to your child and trying to make sure that they get as involved as possible in the school. You know, I remember when my dad dropped me off for university, he said, "Just say yes." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "When people ask you to do something, the easiest answer is to say, no, I don't want to try that. I've never tried that before." Obviously, he wasn't saying to say yes to certain behaviors that are bad. But what he was saying is, if someone asks you to go to a play or to take part in a club or to come out for a conversation with other people, he said, say yes, try it once, and you might find that you like it. And the worst thing is it, you know, well, if the worst thing is that you find out you don't like something, then at least you have benefited from the experience. And for children who are starting with us, it's really important that they try new things. They go out for a club after school, or they take part in something, or they take a class maybe that they never thought that they might take before. They try new things, because behind that open door, there's usually several other open doors. And so it's really important that families don't try to just, you know, move from England or from the Netherlands or from Belgium and try to replicate their life that they had back there here, because it's going to be different. You know, I was just mentioning earlier, paddle. I mean, I played tennis all my life and squash, and And they had me playing fronton, that crazy game with the big wall, and then I got playing paddle. Well, I'm hooked. I play paddle every week now, and it's such a wonderful social game, and it's such a part of life here in Spain. And all it took was me saying yes when someone said, "Hey, why don't you come along one afternoon and give it a try?" So, it is really important that families do that together and parents support their children, even if it means you have to drive, and take your child somewhere, because things are pretty spread out here. You're going to need to be really supporting your child. But it is really important that they integrate well off the start. And families here do a lot of things with other families. It's a very, very lovely part of the culture, including the foreign families. And, in order to learn about how amazing the Costa Blanca is and how amazing the Valencian culture is, there's a couple of easy things to focus on. Food. Oh my word, the food around here is outstanding. Paella, there's more ways of doing paella here than there's doing anything. And it's a very social way to interact with people, is having a meal together and taking part in the fiestas that take place in all of the small little towns in the area. Right now, the fiestas are kind of curtailed because of the current health situation. But when that gets better, it brings so much joy and socialization to the area. So get out and about. Do that with your child. Model for your child that you've come to a new land and a new place to explore it. Get on your bike, go for a run, go to the beach, be out and about, and you will find that the people here are so welcoming. And at the school, it mirrors the culture. The kids are welcoming. If your child wants to try something new, let them try something new, support that, because behind that door, there's many more open doors. Okay.
Thank you, Chris. It's very, very good advice here for all of them that are thinking of moving. And actually, I agree. Your school is a melting pot here of cultures. It's beautiful to learn from each other. It's great when we go and see children, happy families. It's a social area as well. So much to learn from everybody. I think you're in a fantastic place, to be honest, Chris. I don't know if Isabel wants to recommend or say something to possible parents that are thinking of enrolling. I don't know if she's still there, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, Isabel's still there.
All right.
Isa, are you able to share with us? I think she might have a little bit of transmission issues. I'll jump in. If families
all right, Chris, over to you.
If families are interested just in learning more, there's we're happy to spend time and again, you're looking for the best fit for your child, and our school offers quite a bit of variety because of the breadth and size of our school. For some children, they might be more accustomed to a smaller school. There are lots of different options here, and my suggestion is happiness is having choice. So you should come and visit the different options that there are here in the area. And we're happy to share, what we offer families and can afford students in terms of experiences through a simple call. So just get in touch with us. You can do that by filling in the easy to find form on our website. And then either Isabel or Maria, who also works in admissions, they'll be in touch right away. And it's very personal. Our interest in admissions process. We want to make sure we reach out to you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much for all the information you've provided. Pedro, now as a lawyer, international lawyer, I know you've been dealing with a lot of people, a lot of business people coming over. What will be the recommendation for those parents who are prepared to come over here as a very last piece of advice you will give over to them, Pedro?
Thank you, Ignacio. Okay, well, you already have said we are offering right now a service in order to have meetings with a video conference, and we are doing this every day with many clients. So what my recommendation is, of course, what we say, planify, understand which is the points that you need to study, understand that you need to have a picture, which is going to be the scenario whenever you move to Spain, on immigration, on what about property, what about school? What about banks? What about business? What about taxes? All those things. Probably there are more about. I don't like to talk about wills or inheritance or these kind of things. This is what our clients are asking us in order to prevent, to know what will happen, what will be the move or the steps to follow in the future. So my recommendation is to instruct a proper advisor, a professional, in order to, of course, to inform you about those important issues that need to be checked in order for you to know specifically the picture. And apart from that, I mean, we are a law firm that, of course, we offer these kind of services, and of course, for us, will be fantastic to help people to understand which is their specific picture, which is going to be the scenario whenever they move, and of course, to help them in order to, at the end, to become a resident in Spain, to live in Spain, to enjoy in Spain, and at the end to help them to come and live here in this area in Costa Blanca.
Okay, thank you, Pedro. I think we've got back Isabel. Before I pass over to her, as Pedro said, always seek independent legal advice. It's very, very important when people coming from abroad, just before committing to possible scenarios that they're not sure, always seek independent advice. That will be our best advice ever, and I'm sure it will save you hassle, problems, and money. Now, Isabel, I was wondering, Chris just jumped onto it to see how parents will enroll. What kind of advice, now that they've got an opportunity to listen to you now, what advice would you tell parents that they're thinking to move, to enroll, to come over to Spain? What will be your advice as a last speech, Isabel? Over to you.
Well, I think you have already covered that, but the advice is obviously, as you said, in the legal side, to make sure about all the taxes, because it happened to myself when I moved here. I used to live in England 10 years and I needed to sort out things. So that's really important. But as Pedro said as well, school is important if you have children, and that's one of the most important things. No, it's the future of your children. So as you have said, this is, well, for me, it's the perfect area to live. And for many families, as you know, because as Chris said, we are an international school, we have families. And personally, I have lived this. Families that have been looking for a school for their children in Spain, going to 10 schools, visiting all the schools, and then choosing our school as the best school for them. For each family is different though, but you know, like I can prove. And many of our families, as you said, they can work from wherever they want. So, you know, this is a really good choice, and we are here to help them. You are there in the legal advice, but we are here as a school to help them to move to the area.
Okay, thank you very much, Isabel. I think I fully agree with you both. The education of children is very important, probably is the most important thing you could give to your child. Is a great, better than inheritance, is just a tool, a box of tools for you to do your best in your life. So I'm glad you guys push very hard and build so many values into the children education system in Spain. So I thank you for that, because they are the future. And I really think you do a great job on mixing so many cultures, giving the best education and making people happy, which is very important. So I will be grateful if you could leave in the chat your email address. I mean, I think Chris has left here admissions, but obviously Lady Elizabeth School in the website, they could contact you direct. Now, as the ending now, because we're about to close, we're going to just share a video about Spain, very short video, and then obviously we'll just close the webinar. Okay, Juan-Fran, so could you please identify our country then, and then we could just have a look?
You can't stop thinking about it. That hidden cove, just for you. That little hideaway in the mountains, or that beautiful postcard town. Dreaming about enjoying the fresh air again. Feeling the sun on your skin. Exploring. Walking. Traveler, there is no path. Paths are made by walking. Never stop dreaming. Spain will wait.
Okay, well, thank you very much to all of you, and hopefully see you very soon. Have a great weekend.
Take
Goodbye
care, everyone.
now.
Bye now.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.